So, what is this all about? What is Dill Games? This video is meant to be a general introduction to this channel, as well as what the youths call a vibe check. Basically, I just want to outline what I kind of envision myself doing here, so there's no confusion for myself and for others. So, pre-pandemic, I was starting to put together a plan for the rest of my life. I had hoped to start a business, or at least dive deep into financials, while putting pen to paper and kind of figure out what starting a business even actually means. So it took me a while to even get to this point. After graduating high school all those years ago, I definitely felt a little directionless. I jumped around from college to college, changed my major like 3 times, and even after all that soul searching, I don't think I can comfortably say, like, I know myself as a professional, like working professional all too well. Anyways, it all leads me here to starting something that very well may be the highest modern cliche of all time, which is an online content producing brand. There it is, right there. Saying that out loud, I can already feel like the overwhelming sense of imposter syndrome. Is this something I really want to, or even should, spend my time doing? Will people even care? I think I've finally come to a moment of clarity with all of this, which is it doesn't really matter, and I don't think I care. I think I'm fairly happy with the idea that I can use this platform to make and create anything I feel like doing. Folks are entitled to their opinions and are welcome to compare what I do to thousands of others that are doing something similar or the same thing. But know that I am not comparing myself to someone else's vision. I think it's the only way I'm going to be happy doing all of this. There's a constant fear of living up to someone else's expectations when you put yourself out there like this. It can be a little debilitating. But like I mentioned previously, I think that moment of clarity is starting to put those feelings to rest. Truly better late than never. So anyways, I have a couple key terms that I think I want to outline for what I kind of want the channel to be, as I guess like its vision, like it's like a vision board, right? Like I'm putting up a board on my wall, and I've got like things I want to accomplish, or things I want to do, or like things I want to maintain. So let me finally get to that. What I kind of envision what this is going to be. So first word up is community. So I've played video games for pretty much my entire life. Like anyone who plays them, they've made me feel a lot of emotion over the years, a lot of different ways, whether it was joy or sadness, or anywhere in between, right? Whether it was on my own or with my friends, there was a lot of joy to be had, having fun with friends, having fun by myself. It was hard enough pre-pandemic to sit down on the same couch with my ever busier friends to play games these days. And, then the pandemic happened, So I want the content I put out to fill that void a little bit, give myself a place to play games where there's at least some form of community. Basically, I want to trick my friends into spending more time with me under the guise of it being for this YouTube channel. I laugh, but it's at least a little bit true. Hopefully there are some new friends out there with some positive voices that I can amplify as well. So that's my first term, community. Second term I want to talk about is challenge. So I want to curtail that encroaching imposter syndrome by throwing content at the wall and just seeing what sticks, right? Because I don't think and I don't think anyone ever really knows where all of this is going to lead me. I don't see this as a Hail Mary to find myself, but I do see it as a chance to try new things and break some personal barriers. So I hope that the content I'll make will at least give me some new perspective and put all sorts of challenges in front of me. So challenges that I hope will meet with success, but with my newfound sense of personal enrichment. If I fail, I know now that I see it as a chance to grow rather than beating myself up too much. So it will always be a constant state of evolution in terms of and coming to terms with what will help me and hopefully you in the long run. So my last term I want to talk about is going to be contentment. So I want to find some personal happiness. I'll be the first to admit that the last 4 years in particular have been a big drain on my happiness reserves. Maybe I'll stand on a virtual soapbox for that later, but for now, I can find some happiness playing and talking about some games from the past and slightly recent present. While there are many problems in the world, it doesn't mean that we have to be dour about them all the time. It shouldn't mean that. I and everyone is allowed to feel joy, and I'll find some joy by playing some games I like. Maybe even some I don't. So I've covered 3 major tenets that this channel will focus on: community, challenge, and contentment. There's a subtext to each of these that I want to acknowledge quickly that will ultimately be Dill Games' driving values. For community, that word is truth. Now, truth for me in this context will always mean seeking it out, and as well as transparency. I want Dill Games to be reputable and open. And for challenge, that word is growth. I want Dill Games to evolve constantly and shape myself as well as its viewers into better versions of themselves. No matter how small that change may be, I would be remiss if I didn't make mental health or self-reflection a priority of mine. So for contentment, that word is pride. Pride is a double-edged sword. It often blinds and restricts us. But I want to be proud of the work that I do. I want to be proud of the stuff that I make. So if I'm having a good time, I'm more likely proud of the path that I took to get there, right? It doesn't even have to be me that leaves Dill Games satisfied. I'd like a lot if that pride could inspire others to seek out their own self-worth. Anyways, so even I'm asking myself right now, wait a minute, this is a gaming channel, right? Like, where are the video games, right? So I just wanted to speak briefly about what I'm feeling heading into this. So I hope you can join me on my little adventure here. And at the very least, I can guarantee that you'll have a little bit of fun. So Dill Games begins, and thank you for your time, and I will be seeing you. Bye-bye.